Hey guys, I'm so glad that you're with me today. I'm glad that we have this time together, and I wanted to film a morning meeting for you at home. And I have a funny story to tell you about our greeting today that just happened. So I have number 1 up here, and we know that this says AMBO, A-M-B-O, and I'm missing that beginning sound, that letter that makes the beginning sound. And Mr. Eric is my cameraman, and he's sitting behind the camera, and as I was writing it up here, he said, "What is that gonna say? Sambo? Rambo? Are you gonna put an S here? Are you gonna put an R here?" And I said, "No, it's gonna say Jambo." In Swahili, how we say good morning. And so I'm gonna tell you Jambo, and you can say it back to me. And I'm gonna fill in the J for that J sound at the beginning. And it's just a curved line, it's like a fish hook right here. And sometimes we talked about J's, sometimes they look like this, sometimes they have a straight line across the top. Still a J. I have an exclamation point at the end because that means I'm excited. I'm not coming to you this morning and saying, "Jumbo." I'm saying, "Jumbo, I'm happy to see you." Number 2 says, today is. It is Wednesday, so I'm gonna fill in the letter that makes the w sound. My lips are going in, out, really tight. W, like whale or water, world. Wednesday starts with a W. So it's gonna be a straight line down, a straight line up, a straight line down, and a tall straight line up. This is a capital W for Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, April. April starts like Ava with a capital A, April. So I'm gonna do a straight line up, straight line down, and a short straight line across the middle. That's a capital A. April. Today is Wednesday, April 15th. April 15th. That's a 1 and a 5. We are halfway through April. So my whole sentence is, today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. And I have a period at the end because that's the end of my thought. This is also, it's the middle of April, but it's the middle of the week. Today is Wednesday, so if I say, K4, 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 what day is it, what day is it, what day is it? Did you say hump day? It is hump day. Congratulations, you made it to the middle of the week. That is so exciting, and we only have 2 more days until it's the weekend. It'll still be a home day because we've had lots of home days. But we will be a little bit closer to the end of April. So I have sent you in the mail a packet, and some of the papers are for your caretaker. They will read the paperwork, and it's some websites that you can go to, some things that you can do at home. There are choice boards, and you can pick one of those activities to do every day. It's fun stuff that you can do that's kind of different from what you might do every day at your house. Also, in the packet, you'll find a coloring sheet with a picture of a butterfly that I drew, and we'll talk about that tomorrow or Friday. And you will see a baggie. I'll go ahead and talk about this really quickly before I show you patterns. Inside of your baggie, I put a bean, and the bean, yours is going to be white. This is Ava's. We've already started, so I want to show you maybe what you'll look for. Once you open your baggie, you'll have your seeds in the bottom, and I just took a paper towel and I folded it up. I used my fingers, and your caretaker can help you with this. I folded my paper towel like this, and I just put a little bit of water on it. That's called damp. So it's not soaking wet, it's just damp. If you get it soaking wet, your seeds will get too wet and they'll break apart before the roots start to grow. So I'm gonna take my damp paper towel and I'm gonna put it near my seeds like this, and then I put tape on this side of my baggie, and we have had this taped to our window in the kitchen where the sunlight comes in. And I'm gonna kind of show you, if I can take it out without disturbing it, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Ours has already started to grow a little bit. So that's my bean or my seed. These are roots. And this is the sprout coming. That will be a stem. That's the sprout coming out. It's green. So you can have your seeds like this with your damp paper towel taped up on the window wherever the sun's going to come in, and touch the seeds, because we know that plants need sunlight and water and air. So we leave our baggie like this so that it gets some air, so it's open on the front, taped here, and the sunlight comes in. You might change your paper towel every few days and watch to see that seed grow. We've only had ours taped up since, I think we taped it up Friday, and it's already grown that much. So that's exciting to see, and I know my kids, when they get up in the morning, they all run over to the window to see how much their sprout has grown. So you will see that in your baggie. You don't have to wait for me to tell you what to do or a certain day to do it. You can go ahead and start that whenever you open it up. Also, I wanted to talk to you before we go. I wanted to talk to you about patterns. I sent your caretakers a book about patterns in spring that you can look at on Epic. It's a website that'll read to you. And we talked about patterns before we left, before we got out of school, but patterns are something that happens over and over and over. So the pattern I want to look at today is patterns in flowers, since we're talking about spring. So I have a pink flower here with yellow in the center. I have a red tulip here. I have the same pink flower that I have right here. I have the same pink flower here with pink petals and yellow in the center. And then I have a red tulip again. If I say those quickly, you'll hear me say the same thing over and over. Pink flower, red tulip. Pink flower, red tulip. Can you guess what would come next? Pink flower would come next. So if I'm filling in my pattern, I'm going to draw my circles, pink circles for my petals, and I'm drawing 5 pink circles. Put the top back on your marker. That's important so that we can use our markers again. And I'm going to put yellow in the center. Put the top back on my marker. So now I've completed my pattern. Pink flower, red tulip, pink flower, red tulip, pink flower. If you can guess what would come next, then you can extend the pattern. The red tulip would come after the pink flower, and that would keep repeating. So a pattern happens over and over and over. Under this, I can make my own flower pattern. So today, when I was outside with Ava, we picked some red flowers and some yellow flowers. So you can even use real flowers and line them up. Red flower, yellow flower, red flower, yellow flower. You can do that with anything in your home that you have a lot of. You can make patterns. So you might have, let's see, here I have crayons and markers. You can do a crayon marker pattern. So I have a marker, crayon, marker, crayon, marker, crayon. Those are patterns that happen over and over. So I challenge you today to find a pattern. It might be when you go outside, you might pick some flowers too. You might find leaves that you can make patterns out of. You might find anything outside, some rocks that are different colors that you can make patterns out of. You can make a pattern, and that would be something that happens over and over again. So find a pattern or make a pattern. If you don't go outside, if you don't find anything outside, then you can draw a pattern. You could draw flowers. You could draw a ladybug and a butterfly, a ladybug and a butterfly, a ladybug and a butterfly over and over on your paper to make a pattern. So I will be back with you tomorrow. Thank you for watching today. I love you. I miss you. Have a great afternoon.